10 years is not the lightest sentence possible.
For murder?
It's the dream.
And suddenly he's a fucking...
We're talking about life, talking about life and peace.
What a fucking asshole.
Who, John Lennon?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's an asshole.
Remember we established
That makes
this.
okay.
There's no good people in the world. Well, I mean, I guess there is, but not in history books.
There are some assholes like John Lennon though.
He
Like,
did a
they
good song
just-
though. Made some good songs.
Like some of his assholery I agree with. Like
Some of his
like,
assholery.
heard that like the Beatles got tired of people searching for like deeper meaning in their songs and shit.
So yeah, so they wrote Yellow Submarine.
Like they wrote a song called "I Am the Walrus," right?
Yeah. Yeah, just
I am
so
the
to
walrus.
fuck around with people.
Sang the walrus was Paul,
Yeah.
and then people kept trying to like interpret the song, like a deeper meaning behind the song.
Well, Emil,
Fair enough.
speaking of shitty people, I need to ask you because you and I disagree on this, but I want to actually discuss this further. So you were talking about earlier this week about the policewoman who shot and killed that the guy in his own home, right? You know,
Yeah.
You were talking about you know what I'm talking about? Know the context.
Yeah.
And
Do you know?
within the story, after she was, or I guess during her conviction, or the brother and the family were talking, or I guess the brother more than anything of the man who got killed was talking about how he doesn't want the lady to go to jail, or that he forgives her, and then they hugged her, but she's still going to prison for 10 years. And
Yeah, it should be more than 10 years.
yeah, I agree. It should be more than 10 years. But can you kind of explain to me why you thought it was kind of not okay for them to hug or whatever? I just want to understand what you were saying about that.
Because I find it like a surreal thing. Like, would you ever see that happening if the roles were reversed?
No, sir.
Would you wait
Like, big-
if you saw what? Wait, explain exactly though. Like what you mean the roles reversed?
If a big black cop came into
Yeah.
like a white woman's house and shot her, first of all, he would get like life sentence. But like other than that, the family of the woman would not fucking come and hug that guy. It's just because she's a demure, petite, blonde, white woman that she gets this courtesy. Am I wrong or am I right?
But I think my point is that, but this has nothing to do with the system. She got sentenced 10 years. The family is the one who's hugging her and forgiving her. That has nothing to do with whether she would get whether people would be more lenient or not. The family is the one who's like who hugged her.
They're being
Because
lenient.
they're being but that has less to do with the woman. It has more to do with the fact that the family wants to kind of be done with it, just to heal and move on with whatever happened, you know?
So like, if the roles were reversed again,
Yeah.
wouldn't any family want to like deal with it and be done with it, as you say? Or
Yeah.
Or do you think most
I mean,
families?
they don't have to if they don't want to. I'm not saying that they have to. I'm just saying that what this family chose to do was for their own sake. Whether you choose to forgive them or not, that's up to you. I don't think you should or should not. But what I'm saying is that what they did was more for their own healing rather than for the leniency of the woman.
Okay, so let's not just talk about what the family did. Let's also talk about the fact that the judge also hugged the woman. Now, as a judge, are you not supposed to be an impartial person?
Is hugging the woman being partial?
Huh?
Is that being partial though?
You're supposed to maintain a certain how do you say?
Well, okay, but Okay,
Yeah,
she's
so-
still going to jail, right? She's still doing her time for 10 years. She got her sentence. She's going to jail. That's like no one's like not giving her jail time. She's being punished for what she did,
Okay.
right? So outside of that, whatever people do, that's on them. Whatever people do outside of because in a way, I mean, justice is being served in a sense that she is going to jail for it. Whatever people to choose to do, to how they feel like about it, that's up to them.
I wouldn't call it justice exactly. Like 10 years, really.
Well,
But-
we could go into the semantics of how long it should take for a person
Okay,
to go
hold
to
on,
jail for killing a person.
I'll agree with you. Like on the day where I see like I don't know, some Mexican essay, right, or some
Yeah.
big fucking black guy, or like like a big fucking burly white guy with like skinhead tattoos and shit. Like when they're convicted for murder, and then when they get a 10-year sentence, and the judge hugs them, the family hugs them, and the police officer braids their hair or whatever, whatever the police
I
officer.
don't think they braided the hair, but you just said they were well. Yeah, keep going.
They were fixing her hair. The police officer was fixing her hair. Like
Yeah.
when that happens in those situations equally, then I'll agree with you. But until I see that unfold, I'm just gonna
But-
say like, no. This is bullshit. This is another case of like fucking slave conditioning, man.
I don't know. I lean more in the favor that we shouldn't hold too much animosity towards. Like, I'm not saying they shouldn't be punished. Like, serve your punishment for what you've done, and I do believe that she probably should have gotten more than 10 years, for killing the man. But, shouldn't we hold less animosity towards people when they're already serving their sentence? Like do you, I guess what I'm trying to go with is, do you know how in how in places like Sweden and stuff like and Finland they try to reform or try to they have all these programs and stuff to try to teach people back to go back into society once they've served their sentence. Right? You know that implementation. You know about that?
Yeah.
Like they try to, and so they don't within judicial system they don't, or I guess in the prisons they don't try to be vengeful or try to make people suffer for what they've done within the prison system. You just serve your punishment, and then you try to do better after that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a system
I agree
that
with that.
is more that's a system that helps more for later on. So I think if they adopt more of that kind of thinking, where it's it's less about making people suffer or payback or being vengeful for what she had done. I'm not saying people have to be accepting or have to be forgiving, but like just letting them serve
For the
their
peace of
punishment.
mind.
No, yeah, but I want to
But-
see that for everyone. Then I just don't want to see it for like only for petite white women, like good-looking, slightly good-looking white women who look kind of innocent. Like I want to see fucking O.J. Simpson. I want to see the judge convict him of murder, and then like get up and like walk toward O.J. Simpson and like give him a hug.
So you're saying this? She only got this treatment because of what she looked like.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We shouldn't.
And yeah. Well, what else? What else is maybe because on the basis of her gender and maybe her race,
Yeah.
definitely her gender, and the fact that she was a police officer. Those things all contributed to her light.
But here's what I'm saying though: to say that despite all those factors, she still got her sentence. Normally, you see that they get scot-free, but this time they didn't. She didn't. She was convicted for what she had done.
Well, that's a low bar, in my
What do you
opinion.
mean that's a low bar?
Like,
No, they went to trial with it. They did everything out of like I don't aside from what you're saying of forgetting them, they did everything according to the books. Am I wrong?
yes, and they gave her like the lightest sentence possible when she like went
Well,
into suicide
let's not give 10 years is not the lightest sentence possible.
for murder.
For murder? What is the
Well,
lightest sentence for what if other people have gone for murder? What's the lightest sentence possible? People have murdered people before for even lighter sentences than 10 years. I think we're forgetting how long 10 years is. I'm saying this could send a precedent for other police shootings in which they actually do get sentences rather than being let scot-free.
no, I mean, I'm just saying there are people who got imprisoned for like 40 years for stealing $50. I'm not gonna mention the race or the gender of those people, but I think you can guess. So my point is that the entire criminal justice system in America is bullshit, and it needs to be reformed. And I don't care if like it's gonna if they want to be more compassionate towards criminals like Sweden or these places, but I mean, like treat everyone that don't just treat the white woman, the small.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is that you're criticizing a good example though of when they are trying to do the right thing. I understand more when people are trying to criticize.
I'm criticizing the inequality of the system.
Yeah, the inequality system that they were for once they were actually trying to in place.
What? Excuse me?
They're like the inequality is usually that for a police shooting or for someone of a lighter skin tone, I guess, getting no jail time or getting scot-free or getting favored into not having to serve and not having to they're not punished for what they've done. That's the fight you're fighting for, right?
Yeah, I guess I just want everyone to fucking be treated equally, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and this is what I'm saying, where it's like in this one case, she is being punished for what she did. So I'm saying this is the example of a positive trend.
okay, but like also back to the family. If someone killed you, like, would you want your parents to go hug that person?
If it makes them feel better and it sets them free, yes. Because at this point, I don't care about the killer. I care about what my family is mental state wise. If it makes them feel better to like never see them again, then do that. If it makes them feel better to forgive them, then do that. And if it makes them feel better to like stand and face them, that's up to them. But I don't feel like criticizing families or judges for essentially doing what they need to do to move on is the right way to think about it. This is less in that once they forget them, that's their action. That's their action of moving on. I don't really see what we gain from from a vengeful standpoint
No,
rather than forgiveness.
I'm just saying I wouldn't want them to fucking hug her or anything. I think that's like really, really disgusting. Like, I mean,
But would you say that to them though?
yes.
Would you say that to the grieving family?
If someone kills me, mom, please don't hug the person that killed me. Like, you can forgive them, because I mean, there's hating them is not gonna bring me back, right? But
Yeah.
please don't hug them. Like, that's I feel it's crossing a line. I don't know, man.
So where's the line stand then?
I don't know.
I don't know. To me, it seems a little counterintuitive.
Forgive, but don't fucking go hug them, man.
So no, you've been pretty quiet. What do you think?
Uh,
You've heard both arguments and like settle the score.
Yeah.
Kunal's one chance
Honestly, man.
relevant voice, and he's fucking blowing
Honestly, man. I kind of agree with Juan's point of view, where if what my family thinks at that moment, go with that. And yeah, if you do think a hug really settles the whole thing, then I guess go for it, man. But like, I honestly also at the same time, like, if somebody killed me personally, I would not want my family to do that.
It just seems like that this is a different story than the usual. But that being said, I guess I'm not in that situation. I wouldn't know.
Fair enough.
don't hug the person who killed me.
I'm definitely hugging the person who kills you.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh, word?
Word. You never say that shit. But yeah,
Oh, word.
I guess that was a more real discussion that we were used to. But I kind of wanted to delve deep into it. No objective podcast. Sometimes we gotta get deep, you know. Sometimes we gotta talk about the real world shit that's going around in life.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
see you guys next time.
Yeah, see you next time. You see? I don't know. I guess for whoever's watching, it's like, what do you think? Well, we should leave a link to an article about the story. And yeah, what do people think? I kind of want to know what others think
Yeah.
about this, because this is actually an interesting discussion.
Yeah. But like, I mean,
And I
the unfortunate thing is we're probably not gonna get comments, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean-
yeah. Maybe we can post this on Instagram and see what people. Oh
Yeah.
wait, we don't have followers.
Oh yeah, we have
yeah,
Instagram. Follow that shit.
Oh yeah.
Put it on.
Put it
I'll
on
put
that.
it.
I gotta
Description.
split. I gotta fucking make like a banana and peel
Oh my god.
or split,
Yeah.
whatever you
Can
prefer.
we just end this one?
All right, so that was this episode of the Dub Diddler podcast. We'll see you next time. Out. Either way, you're both wrong. Wendy's is the most bomb fast food restaurant.
I love Colonel, but Colonel has the worst fries, man.
McDonald's breakfast, you can't beat that shit.
Fuck, like I don't have time and I just gotta get in there and get the stupid food so you can live.